Hello and welcome to our Four Corners activity video. My name is Dr. Jeremy, and today I'll be walking you through how to create a Four Corners activity online and also how to facilitate it in two different ways. We will be using the content from grade 10, unit 3 for day 28 in the Passport to Social Studies curriculum. So let us begin. This can be found, like I said, in unit 3, and we're going to focus particularly on the first day, day 28. But overall, we're looking at how did unresolved conflicts affect and endure throughout the 20th century. A great way to get students engaged is through the Four Corners activity. In a classroom, students would show their position either by moving or by putting a post-it to show that they strongly agree, disagree, strongly disagree with a statement, and they take a particular stand. This can also be done in a digital classroom, and we're going to have students do the same, look at a specific statement and choose a position, and they will still be actively engaged in participating. The PowerPoint for day 28 goes through the guidance for how to create a Four Corners debate protocol. It also goes into how to support the students and to either create a note catcher or use a provided note catcher. Students will first put down their initial response to the quotes and then follow the next sort of activities. There are 6 quotes presented. You may use all if you wish. When you use the Four Corners share out, we have 2 different methods that could be helpful. The first could be using the chat. So if you're using Zoom or Teams or Meet, this is a great way to do it. For each of the statements, you have students in the chat say what their position was. And then they have the opportunity to raise their hand and unmute so they can share their reasoning for their positions. This is a great way to get students involved and talking. The other way I'm going to show you is a little bit more interactive, and it's also a great way to get students engaged. The next way is going to be using Jamboard, and I will show you shortly how to create the Four Corners share out on Jamboard. The students will be asked to create a sticky note and write their name on it, almost similar to what they would do in the live classroom. And for each statement, they'll choose their position, and then they will also have the opportunity to raise their hand and share their reasoning. Well, how do we create a Jamboard? In your Google Drive, if you go to New and you go to More, there are opportunities, and there's one here called Google Jamboard. Once your Jamboard is created, there are several things you could do here. You could either draw your four corners, which is a possibility, and you would use the pen icon to do so, or you could insert a picture in the background that has the four corners. This could be Googled, or you could have your own that you've created and turn into an image. I have that, and I will show you how to do so. If you go to Set Background and you go to Add Image, you could actually use your own. And if I go to my starred, I have this already started waiting for us, and it's the four corners chart. I recommend doing it this way because, as you will see, you cannot move this. Whereas if you create it on with a pen, it might be able to be moved. So if you want to make sure that it's stuck as a background, this might be the great way to do it. Now, once you have this and students have read their quotes, you could use the sticky note function here. And students could change it to any color they want. I'd have them write their names, and they could also resize their sticky depending on where they want. And they have the ability to move their stickies wherever they want. You can do one sheet per quotation, so you can make multiples if you wish, and you could duplicate. Or you can actually just keep this one, and it could work very fine as well. So once you have this Jamboard created, you can either do it in the first way via the chat, or you could do it through Jamboard for more interactivity. The next step is to go further. So we will ask students to now reflect on their Four Corners activity. They were able to share their reasoning. They heard the reasoning of their peers as well. And now they're going to reflect on the quotations and see, do we still feel the same way? And you may wish to do a wrap-up activity as well, where you start to connect it, because our bigger picture here is the unit assessment. You could connect it to, what do these quotes tell us about why the period 1914 to 2018 can be described as a period of unresolved global conflicts? You could also use this activity in many different other ways, and I hope this has been helpful to you. Have a great one.